Twins of Reddit. In what ways did you take advantage of having a twin? Twice the clothes. 2 cakes on our birthday. Birthday cake. I'm not a twin but have identical twins. One year, one of them got tired during a shopping trip for school clothes. She said to her sister, "Try this on. I want to see how it looks on me." My twin and I used to switch classes to take exams for each other in middle and high school. It was pretty fun, but we started to differ in looks as we got older, so it probably wouldn't work anymore lol. Although, our voices still sound exactly the same, so we can often trick our parents on the phone and stuff like that. Also, not trying to say we have telepathy, but when you spend literally every waking second of your life together, we can always kind of know what each other is thinking. It's like we've developed our own language. Edit. Typos. I can unlock his phone with facial recognition and send stupid messages to other people from it. Edit. We're 37. Edit 2. Wow, thanks for all the awards. Who knew being a jerk to your brother could pay off? Phone was a Pixel 4, and yes, Facebook confuses the two of us when it suggests that we may be in a photo. Edit 3. For all of you who asked, no, the fingerprint scan does not work. I have a twin brother, but we never did the switcheroo or anything. It's probably much more mundane than people think. To me, he's just my brother. One great thing though is I don't have to try to remember the names of random acquaintances because no one remembers which one I am. I know of a pair of twins, and when they were younger they developed their own way of speaking. Not with different words and phrases, but they meshed their words in such a way that they're difficult to understand. They have a sibling who's able to understand most of what they're saying, but is not fluent, so to speak. Around other people their words don't mesh, but around each other they revert back to their speech patterns. Downside is some people fetishize it. I had my ex-boyfriend beg for a threesome with my twin, which was gross and weird. He offered to buy both of us $600 designer bracelets if we did it. Sharing birthday gifts can suck as well. Do you cry if she cries in another state? Quote, do you ever forget which twin you are? Quote, I want to see y'all fight. If I stabbed her, will you feel her pain? Quote, which is the smart twin and which one is the dumb twin? Quote, advantage is always having someone to go somewhere with, whether it be a party, lunch, shopping, wherever. I have a twin brother. The advantage is always having someone to talk to. No matter how good or shitty our days were, we're there for each other. I'm a twin. If you're reading this, twin brother, hi. Inside jokes. My twin brother and I have so many inside jokes even now at 30 years old. And the best part is our minds work alike that we only have to say one or two words and the other one is busting up laughing. Our other brothers and each of our wives look at us like we're nuts, but most people don't get it. There's a connection there that normal siblings just can't have. He was my first roommate after all. My dad is friends with identical twins and he told me this funny story. He was with them at an open house for their aero club. My dad and the two twins are all pilots and were supporting the event. Someone was really curious and asked the twins if there was any truth to the stories about twin telepathy, where twins have some sort of psychic connection. They were both quiet for a few moments and it started to get uncomfortable. The man looked a little embarrassed and said something along the lines that he was just curious and it was a silly question. One of the twins looked him in the eyes and said, "Oh, it's not a problem. We were just discussing how we were going to answer." There was a moment of confusion on the man's face and the twins busted out laughing, saying they had been waiting for an opportunity to try that joke out. I was good friends with identical twins in college. My favorite story with them was one night at the bar. One of them was hooking up with a girl and walked away to either go to the bathroom or get a drink or something. At that very moment, his brother showed up and walked into the bar. and the girl just grabbed him and started kissing him. The look of shock, happiness on his face was hilarious. Twin here.
This question's answers vary vastly based on if they're identical or fraternal.
My twin brother and I are fraternal, so the main advantage was always having something to do with someone. We are very different personally, so it was more akin to a lifelong best friend than having a copy of myself walking around. I have a twin brother. I'm a girl, and it sucked. We went to the same class for 8 years and shared the same bedroom, shared the same friends, and were always compared. I always wished we were 1 year apart so that we did have to see each other 24 hours a day. When it's 2 boys or 2 girls, it's different. Those 8 years were hell. He was always mean to me, hit me,
wouldn't let me hang out with his friends even though we were all in the same class.
We're 22 now. I don't think there is a single advantage in my case. That doesn't mean it's bad. We're grown up now. The problem was that they made us go to the same class, and that made us grow apart. When you're forced to do something, you want to do that less. They shouldn't have forced us. It's hard to talk about taking advantage of being a twin because there aren't really opportunities to do that. I guess people think of the movies where you do pranks and trick people into thinking there's just one of you or something, but real life isn't really like that, since even identical twins always look distinguishable to people who know them. One cool thing about having a twin is you are in the same classes together, so if you are the irresponsible one and don't remember what the homework is, your twin probably remembers. Also, you can have a wider friend group. But that's all I can think of really. My brothers are twins, and the only thing I remember them talking about that they took advantage of is one twin would take spankings for the other twin. One of my brothers is a Marine, who's always been pretty tough, I guess you'd say. And the other brother is a very feminine guy who gets very emotional and wouldn't take a punishment easily. He's gay. Although I am not saying it's because he's gay that he's like that, it's just who he is. So basically,
the first brother told me when we were kids he would always take spankings for his brother because getting spanked only hurt for a second and didn't really bother him, and it would save our weaker
brother from having to endure something that would seriously affect him. I have twin siblings, and I just noticed that they think in very similar ways. One time when we were all in the car, my brother kept talking about graffiti, but in a way that didn't make any sense. But my sister knew exactly what he meant, and he meant to be saying voodoo. No idea where they saw the connection between those words, but they both saw them. I have an identical twin brother. Basically, anytime there's one per person limit, I get a second time through with a different sweatshirt. If they say I've already gone through, I just say I have a twin brother and talk about how crazy it is that we both went there without knowing it, and show them a picture or 2 of us. Also, a bonus for all places that give freebies for birthdays. I get 2 free items or orders if he's out of town or isn't planning on going to that place. Was in Vegas with twins, and one had her wallet stolen. How to get through TSA at the airport to get back home. I went through security with one twin, took her ID back out to the non-secure area, went back through security with twin 2. I'm half of an identical twin. We never really did anything with this fact, but we agreed not to donate any organs or stuff in case the other one needs it. Organs which you can donate and keep living. No search or waiting list for these kind of organs since I've got my twin. We also have other medical search advantages. Taught a set of triplets, 2 of which were identical. One was a jerk. Literally stole a kid's money in front of his friends and walked off to buy ice cream with it. When caught out, he tried to claim his parents gave it to him when both his brothers denied getting any ice cream money. The other identical was as sweet as could be, very sensitive, and always wanted to help. Nice triplet always got yelled at until someone figured out they got the wrong one. Poor kid always ended up crying over it, while his triplet shrugged and went off to go break rules in whatever area he hadn't been kicked out of. I have a fraternal twin sister, so we didn't have the opportunity to pull any pranks or switch identities or anything like that.
The main advantage was that,
since we are the same age, I always had an excuse to be around her friends and ended up dating her
friend for a few years.
When we were in high school, she would tell her parents that she was sleeping over at my sister's house. Obviously also my house. So even though she was sleeping in my bed with me, she technically hadn't lied. Not me, but my brothers. Not identical,
but pretty close.
Names changed to protect the guilty. When they were young, 16 or 17, Bob was out driving and got pulled over for speeding. He only had a couple points left on his license, so he said he forgot his license at home, and gave the cop Jack's name. Cop goes, pulls up the record, gives Jack his ticket, and off they go. Being a good bro, Bob told Jack, and of course paid the ticket. Warned him he better be careful because now he only has a couple points left on his license too. Funniest part of the story.
Bob is now a police officer.